If you're looking to buy your first home in Lancaster County, don't start looking at homes just yet. Before you schedule your first showing, you need to take a look at this video about 4 questions you need to ask yourself before buying your first home in Lancaster County. These 4 questions could save you a lot of stress, heartache, and even money. My name is Josh. I'm a local Lancaster County realtor, and my goal is to help you buy your first home. Stick around, we're going to get right into those 4 questions. Question number 1 is, can I comfortably afford it? Just because a lender says you can buy a home for a certain amount does not mean that you should actually purchase that home. Getting pre-approved is super important, but it's just a starting point, and a lot of times lenders are actually going to approve you for a lot more than you actually comfortably want to spend. So a big thing you need to think about is the lifestyle you want after purchasing your first home. Do you still want money to travel, eat out, save for emergencies, invest, enjoy hobbies? Well, then you really need to take a second to think about what you comfortably can afford. I always tell my first-time home buyers to purchase a home that allows them to sleep at night. Buying a home should bring some peace, not financial stress. So make your budget, figure out what you want to spend and how much of it you want to go towards your home. You got to think about things like utilities and upkeep, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But once you find out how much you actually want to spend, the next question is, where do you want to live? Where in Lancaster County is the right place for you? Where you decide to lay your head at night in Lancaster County offers a lot of different lifestyles. And choosing the right location is just as important as choosing the right house. Do you want the walkability, restaurants, and nightlife of Lancaster City? Are you more into Lidditz, the small town charm, friendly community, even though it's super sought after? Everybody raves about Manheim Township schools and the established neighborhoods. Ephrata is growing so quickly and you can still get a lot of bang for your buck in that area. People are choosing Mount Joy for its convenient commute, nice downtown area, and just overall friendly atmosphere. The point I'm trying to make is you can renovate a kitchen, finish a basement, or even update the flooring, but you can't just move the location of a home unless you get a mobile home. Now let's talk about something that's super important and surprises a lot of first-time home buyers when they enter the home buying market. And it's probably one of our more important parts to talk about today. And that third question is simply, how hard do you want to compete in today's market? It's so important before you ever fall in love with a home to figure out what your risk tolerance is when making offers. And let me say something I always tell my first-time home buyers to never fall in love with a home until it's theirs. And even then, it's still just a house. My job is to sell houses and I don't even love them. Truly, they're a utility to be used, but I understand the emotional side of purchasing your first home. So you need to do it as clear-headed as possible. Ask yourself, am I willing to go over asking price? Am I comfortable competing against multiple offers? How do I feel about inspections? That's such a tough one. I have first-time home buyers all the time that say, well, I heard you can't get inspections in today's market. The biggest thing I tell them is if you're the type of person who when your head hits your pillow at night, you cannot sleep if you didn't get an inspection, you need to get inspections on your home. And we might just have to go look at more homes because you might lose out, but that's okay because you're the type of person who needs an inspection. Ask yourself how flexible you can be on settlement dates. Where do you draw the line? When does it get too uncomfortable to make an offer? Now I'll tell you this, and I don't know if this is every other realtor, but for me personally, my buyers ask me, well, what's a competitive offer? How do I make my offer competitive? And what I tell them is I'm going to tell you everything that you can do to make your offer as competitive as possible. I'm going to tell you the offer that just blows the seller out of the water. And then you, because you know your financial situation, are going to tell me what makes you comfortable. And I'm going to help you craft an offer that makes sense to you when you're purchasing your first home. Every buyer has a different risk tolerance, and that is completely okay. Some buyers are going to be willing to go way over asking, waive all contingencies, and just get that house. But you might be somebody who wants to wait it out a little bit. See if you can get something that you don't have to be as aggressive on. What you need to do is find a realtor who will help you do just that. And I will be that person for you if that's what you're looking for. Making confident decisions instead of emotional ones is going to make your home buying process a lot smoother and a lot less stressful. Especially on that house where you're leaving the house and you love it and you're being told you only have an hour to get an offer in. We could start going crazy trying to make the offer that makes sense to win. And what you need to do is know ahead of time what your risk tolerance is. Because depending on your price range in Lancaster County, a lot of homes are still seeing multiple offers within just a few days. So that is why I am stressing about you not stressing about knowing what your comfort level is when making offers. And then finally, you need to know what happens when you get the keys and have a plan. So you need to ask yourself, am I ready for the responsibilities that come with homeownership? Owning a home is incredibly rewarding, but it also comes with a ton of responsibility. When something breaks, you are your own landlord. I don't know if you rent right now or if you're living with your parents or family or whatever, You are now your own landlord when you own a home. That means when the HVAC goes, when the plumbing goes, when something happens with electric, you have to be the one ready to solve that problem. I never want buyers to be scared of home ownership because of the long-term wealth implications that owning a home create for you, but I want you to be aware of all the responsibilities. If you don't like mowing a lawn, you better be willing to pay somebody to do it, or you better live in an HOA that covers lawn maintenance. Same thing with snow removal. If you don't want to pay for a roof repair, you're going to have to pay a monthly fee to have a condo association that pays for the roof if something goes wrong. What I'm saying is the responsibility is now on you, which is a good and bad thing, but overall, if you just have a plan for it, it is good. I have no problem talking a little bit more about what responsibilities you could have as a homeowner. Just reach out to me. My number is 717-799-8374. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, and I'll always answer a text. I promise you, if you are financially and mentally prepared, homeownership can be one of the best decisions you ever make. Well, that was it. 4 questions you need to ask yourself before purchasing your first home in Lancaster County. If I forgot anything, feel free to leave it in the comments below. And if you have any questions about getting a home search set up or talking about what it looks like to actually buy a home or getting a pre-approval, I'm just here to help you. I love to be a resource. I tell all my clients, instead of using Google, just use me. I'll answer the question and it'll be local to Lancaster County. I'm not a very pushy salesman. I'm just here to help. So please feel free to subscribe, stick around, and see more of what we got coming. I'm going to make these videos all the time and promise I'm going to do it. But I really want to focus in on first-time home buyers in Lancaster County and creating as much YouTube content as possible for you guys. So please subscribe and look out for the next video.